welcome to week 2 of the digital detox. So today is Wednesday, January 15th, and the digital detox started on Wednesday, January 1st. So yeah, made it to week 2. Not much has changed this week, except that my phone screen time and my pickups have increased. My screen time went up to 2 hours and 11 minutes, which was a 46% increase from last week, and my pickups increased to 44, which is a 23% increase from last week. The reason why my screen time and pickups increased was, one, I've been looking for a winter coat online. So I've been looking in person, like in my local thrift stores, for the past few months, and I haven't been successful. There's lots of trench coats and like wool or pea coats, but that's not really what I'm interested in. So I've been looking online to see if I can find one that's affordable. Although I really don't know if I'm going to need this coat with the way this weather is going. It's been unseasonably warm. I was just looking out the window and there's green grass growing in. However, we are supposed to be getting snow this weekend. The temperature is supposed to drop, so maybe winter is coming. At any rate, I'm still looking for the coat whether winter comes or not, because I'm going to need it eventually. If not this winter, definitely next winter. So that increased my screen time because I've been doing it on my phone. And also, in my last video, I said that I was going to be making some upgrades to my computer, which I did do this past weekend. I changed the battery and I attempted to change the hard drive. So I successfully, removed the hard drive and installed the new SSD, solid state drive. However, I didn't have an external backup of my computer, which was fine with me. Like, all I needed, all my files were saved in iCloud. So all I really just needed was, I was okay with like starting over again, sort of, and having to download some of the apps that I've added to my computer. But when I tried to do the Mac operating system recovery process, which would basically reinstall the old operating system or the original operating system that was installed on the computer when it was built, for some reason I could not install the old operating system. I don't know if it's just too old now, because the operating system was Lion, which was from 2011, which is how old the computer is. I think maybe it's just too old, and that version is no longer available for download. So when you go to Apple support to look at the different operating systems that are available for download, I think El Capitan, which I don't know which year that came from, but El Capitan is the oldest one that you can download. So I think that's why the internet recovery process wasn't working. So I was on my phone looking at articles and videos, trying to figure out if there's a way I could work around it. Can I download an operating system to a flash drive or something else? But none of those things worked. So I ended up having to take out the new SSD drive and reinstall the old one, and then order a external hard drive enclosure with USB adapter so that I can basically clone my old hard drive to the new hard drive. Then once it's cloned, I can remove the old hard drive and install the new one, and then everything should be fine. So that will be my project for this weekend. But anyway, those are the two reasons why my screen time and pickups increased. What did I get accomplished in this past week? I did do my resume. I did a new resume because I haven't updated my resume in a few years. So I did a new resume, specifically tailored to this grant that I'm applying for. I started the bibliography. I'm basically adding books to them as I finish, reviewing them or reading them. So that's like a work in progress. It won't be finished probably until next week, when I'm ready to start writing the 4-page summary narrative that they asked for. I did update my budget. I did create a budget, I should say, for 2020. And I realized when I went back into my files that I didn't make any budget for 2019. So the budget that I was referencing in my head was from 2018. Which was kind of like, ooh, you let that slip. It's not too bad because the budget that I had at the end of 2018 didn't really change. It was sort of the same going into 2019. But these last few months, last quarter of 2019, my finances did change significantly. I could have used the budget these past few months, but I have one now. It's kind of depressing, but it's done. I shouldn't say depressing, it was sobering. I'll put it that way. It was a sobering look at my budget and definitely gotta get some things in place to move forward financially this year. I finished reading rereading this. I read this book a long time ago, but it was one of the ones that I wanted to reread after Toni Morrison passed. So I reread this, and of course, you know, it was good. It didn't disappoint me. I need to like start going back to reread more books. I'm hesitant about rereading books that I've read before because I feel like, oh, I'm gonna remember what happened, so it's not gonna be as good as it was the first time. But actually, that's really wasn't the case. Like, because I read that book probably 20 years ago, it was almost like reading it for the first time again. There were some things that I did remember, but you know, it was still a joy to read and made me think about some things in my own life. So the other book that I read is called The Oral History Workshop. So one of the parts of this Black Eastern Shore project that I'm working on is going to be collecting oral histories from local elders. So I read this book just to start to get an idea of what I need to do and how I need to do it. This book has like questions and telling you about, you know, tools that you need and how to archive your work. So I finished reading this, but I'm going to hold on to it for a little while. I have another book on oral history that I'm going to read next. And there are some things out of this book that I want to copy. There are questions that I want to use from the book. So I read those two books. This is the other book that I got New Year's Eve. It's a big book. It's called The African American Book of Values. Stumbled upon this when I was thinking about Kwanzaa and those values. And it's basically a collection of stories, like moral stories written by Black people. The book is broken up into different sections like courage, honesty, you know, overarching values. And then within each section, there are stories that pertain to those values. So they talk about Jim Henson, you know, his diary entries from discovering the North Pole and some of the records from the Underground Railroad that William Still recorded. The John Henry story and song is in here. I think it's a very neat thing to have. This book is it's like 900 pages. Hopefully I'll get to keep this for the whole time. Hopefully I get to finish it, within the time that I have it. But it's definitely good. Something that should be shared and read with children and, you know, teenagers. Like, this should be a whole course. It could be a whole course, just 1,000 pages. This should definitely be like an English class. If I were a professor, English professor, or African American Studies professor, I would definitely teach a course or two on this book. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, reading. I didn't make a lot of art this past week because I've been focused on this computer and just working on the project. I did scan some images and I found some other images that I want to start working on. So I think I need to narrow down my art focus, and I'm going to, not necessarily this month, but probably next month, I'm really going to start to focus all of my art on the Black Eastern Shore. So making artwork that pertains to that. Even if it's artwork that never gets shared, that's just me practicing my skills. I want my work, my artwork, and my my research work to be aligned. And, you know, hopefully some of the art pieces that I create over this time will be able to be used, you know, within the book or on the website that is created. But yeah, I want to get my creative mind focused completely on the Black Eastern Shore. But even in saying that, I'm still going to be doing random projects, sort of. So this is another book that I picked up, the Collage Workbook. It has like 50 projects in it. And I got this from my library just for the sake of making art, to give me new ideas, to learn new collage techniques. And I've done one project out of here and started a second project from here. When I'm doing paper collage, I'll be referencing this book for ideas. But when I'm doing digital collage and digital drawing and digital art, I'm gonna be focusing that on the Black Eastern Shore. I did visit my friend this past weekend, my childhood friend. She has a new baby that was delivered in December, so I got to see her and spend a few hours with her and the baby. And I did watch a little TV. My boyfriend came to visit and we went to visit my friend, so in both places, you know, we watched some TV, but it wasn't Netflix and wasn't YouTube. I only look at educational videos on YouTube when I'm searching for something specific, like my computer. Although When I watch a video like on a computer or something, you know, it always gives you suggestions when the video is finished, and I did see some suggestions from my subscribers list that definitely looked tempting to watch. That's it for everything that I did this past week and for week 3. So I still need to work on the project statement for the grant application. However, I also need to write a 4-page statement. So I think what I'm going to do next week is start the 4-page statement and then lift the project statement, the 1,000 character project statement from the 4-page narrative, because that's allowed. I still need to fill out the preliminary forms. I do need a new dentist. I'm pretty sure now that they are closed. I've called them 2 more times and left messages. No answer, no call back. So I'm pretty sure they have closed down or something's going on there. So I need to definitely find a new dentist. I still need to call my doctor to reschedule my annual checkup, and I still need to declutter some emails. That's what it's looking like heading into week 3. Still going good. I haven't taken the time to write down my new rules for when I reincorporate optional technologies back into my life in February, but as of right now, you know, halfway through, 2 weeks in, like, I don't think I will be putting social media apps or email apps, all of the apps that I deleted from my phone, I'm not going to put them back on my phone. Everything is going to be done via my desktop, and I still need to like designate a time like when I'll do those things. I think Fridays are going to be my social media days, when I upload, respond to comments and things like that. Probably next week maybe, or the 4th week, I will talk to you all about what rules I'm going to be following for my new digital life. Hope you've had a great week. Enjoy the long weekend for Martin Luther King Day. Today is actually January 15th, is actually his birthday. So happy birthday, Martin Luther King Jr. Like I said, enjoy your week. If you're going to any special events, have fun. If you're just relaxing, also enjoy that. And I will see you all next week. Thanks for watching.